Hey Somerville, it's officially March and we've got a lot to unpack.
Today is Friday, March 3rd.
I'm Haley Holden.
And I'm Cam Brokaw.
And Wave TV starts now. To start things off, Jackson Brown gives us a Murdaugh update.
Last Thursday and Friday, Alex Murdaugh took to the stand to testify against the murder of his wife and son in the summer of 2021. This Monday, in the trial of Alex Murdaugh, his defense team rested its case after calling up 14 witnesses. While on stand, Alex stated again that he wasn't the murderer. He did admit, however, to being at the dog kennels minutes before his wife and son were shot, contradicting what he said previously when questioned by authorities when he said he was asleep at the time of the murders.
Come here, Cash. Quit.
He states the reason he lied about his location was due to an opioid-induced paranoia.
Alec, why did you lie about the last time you saw Maggie and Paul?
As my addiction evolved over time, I would get paranoid thinking.
Alex also stated that he repeatedly lied to his family, his clients, his job partners, and stole millions of dollars over 2 decades from being a high-powered lawyer.
He said that he admitted to you he had been stealing client money.
Yes, sir.
Said he...
Alex Murdaugh has pleaded not guilty on 2 counts of murder and 2 weapon charges. He separately faces 99 charges of alleged financial crimes. That's all the updates we have for you. Reporting from Wave TV, I'm Jackson Brown.
I don't think I was capable of reason, and I lied about being down there. And I'm so sorry that I did.
With the trials ending, if you want more information, check out the Netflix series called Murdaugh Murders, A Southern Scandal.
Now we go over to Stan Standridge and William Brown for a conviction update.
Crime. It can happen anywhere, like in Ohio. And in Somerville too, like on February 9th, when 58-year-old Anthony Alton Fagan was arrested on 6 counts of possession of a stolen motor vehicle, 3 counts of unlawful possession of a handgun by a person convicted of a violent crime, 2 drug charges, and more.
Another Anthony, just 2 years older, Anthony Argo, was sentenced the same day to life in prison for stabbing his wife to death 14 times on June 14, 2019.
Also in Somerville, police officer, or former police officer I should say, Wade Franklin Rawlings was charged with stealing guns as well as $7,000 from the evidence room of Somerville Police Department, which landed him 2 charges of misconduct and 1 charge of grand larceny, along with breach of trust with fraudulent intent and setting up fake merchandise returns to generating refunds from non-existent customers 4 times, stealing $2,500, getting a hefty sentence of 10 years in prison that was later lifted to 1 year in prison and 9 years on probation because justice. 31-year-old Colby Kopax was recently arrested for a crime he committed on October 29, 2021 in Little River, where he repeatedly hit his mother over the head until she died. His sister stated the violence was because of an argument over drug money. Colby was also found guilty of the theft of his mother's Chevrolet Malibu, TV, and other items.
In out-of-state news, now 58-year-old Stephen Bullis was recently arrested for a North Carolina bombing that happened all the way back in 1995. He had 6 charges related to an incident following a jury trial, although 2 charges were vacated and he was resentenced to 450 months in prison, followed with 5 years of supervised release from the original life sentence plus 30 years, and 235 months in prison. Do the math on that one.
Remember, crime can happen anywhere. Reporting for Wave TV, I'm Stan Standridge.
And I'm William Brown.
Make sure and stay safe, Somerville. These things could happen anywhere.
Now, Evan Glenn gives us an overview on how it's been 1 year since the invasion of Ukraine.
Inside the town,
last Friday was the 1-year mark since Russia began its invasion of Ukraine. This invasion shocked many as it was the first major war in Europe for decades. Ukraine had been a part of the Soviet bloc until the Soviet Union dissolved in 1991, and with Ukraine being so close to Russia, many ethnic Russians resided in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin has claimed that Ukrainians and Russians are one people. Ukrainian civilians decline this, and Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has even said they want peace, but they will defend their country's independence and freedom. The war seemed to be in Russia's favor from the start. They are the bigger, more powerful country. And the war even started off in Russia's favor. They managed to capture 62,000 square miles of Ukrainian territory. and even getting within 19 miles of Kyiv, Ukraine's capital. Ukraine, after being pushed back deep into their own territory, started off with some small counteroffensives before making their big offensive push, reclaiming around 54% of the land Russia had taken from them, and expelled Russian forces from many of the major cities. This war has severely taken a toll on the Ukrainian civilians, with 8,000 plus killed and 13,000 plus injured. Russia, since late 2022 and early 2023, has been on edge, making many threats to NATO countries helping Ukraine through the war, the biggest being nuclear war. And, after President Joe Biden visited Ukraine, the United States and Russia's new nuclear treaty is no longer being signed. It's been a year since the war first broke out, and hopefully it doesn't go on much longer. Reporting for Wave TV, I'm Evan Glenn.
It's crazy it's been a year already. We at Wave TV send our support to those impacted.
On another note, Evie Mahaffey and DJ Ellis bring awareness to mental health.
With the struggles and stress that comes with being a student, and the world in general, sometimes life can feel hopeless.
We may let our mind take control and let it tell us we're not beautiful enough, we're not smart enough, we're not talented enough, but we are so much more than that.
I think it's important to bring awareness to mental health because we all have mental health. We all have times when we're down, and we all have times when we're happy. So there shouldn't be a stigma around that.
People could be going through really bad things, and they might consider doing really bad things to themselves. So it's always make sure to keep people's mental health in mind and in check so that they can be happy, so that you're happy, and then nothing bad could happen.
The Bring Change to Mind Club was started in the middle of last year. Aubrey, she actually wanted to continue this club, and she really led the way on that and got that started.
To anyone who would like to join the Bring Change to Mind Club, you can go to Miss Nunez's room, 216. If you would like to support the BC2M Club, you can find their Instagram, Somerville BC2M. We hope these interviews helped anyone out there feel loved and not alone.
If you or a loved one are thinking about harming themselves,
call 988 or text 741-741.
Again, call 988 or text 741-741.
Reporting from Wave TV, it's Evie
and DJ.
Don't forget, you are loved.
Be sure to check out the Bring Change to Mind Club.
This past Tuesday was the Black History Month event. Let's get into it.
You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this. I got this. I got this. You got this. You got this. I got this. I got this. Oh, and dance for somebody. Oh, and somebody. And somebody to love me. Now only when you call, 'cause I'm always on time. I gave you my heart, so baby, be mine. Yeah. So, about empowerment, that being Black, that it is an honor.
Thank you to the Black Student Union for organizing this event.
Next up, Selma Lott talks about the weather in our area.
Howdy ho, Somerville. Guess who just flew in from Sexy Town? That's right, I did, and I'm here to tell you about the weather from around the country. Starting down here in South Carolina, we can truly see that spring is coming. The weather's getting warmer, though according to the Climate Prediction Center, it's going to be much warmer and much more humid than normal, all the way through June. Has the sheer amount of pollen around seemed worse than usual? That's because it is. The pollen count is abnormally high, much higher than previous years. Down here though, we've got a lot of nothing compared to the rest of the US. People around the country have been facing extreme weather and will continue to through a series of storms. Last Thursday, people from New York to California were facing heavy snow and high winds, which brought nearly 1 million power outages. On Sunday, Oklahoma was hit by 7 tornadoes, and Texas had winds up to 114 miles an hour, equivalent to that of a Category 3 hurricane. While it may sound contradictory, these freezing temperatures are actually a symptom of global warming, With the way the Earth rotates, it creates 3 different types of prevailing winds, which should be contained to the different sections of the world. And those winds are why the extremes of the world are cold and the stuff in the middle is hot. Because of these temperature differences, where they meet creates this thing called a polar vortex, so that the cold stuff stays cold and the hot stuff stays warm. That's how it should be anyway. In recent decades, because the Earth is getting warmer and warmer, the cold areas up here have also gotten warmer. So the polar vortex has weakened and started to spread farther down the Earth, giving all the warm areas much more cold air than they should have. That's all the time I have for today. Reporting for Wave TV, I'm your favorite newsboy, Solomon Malott. Back to you, anchor guys.
It's crazy how hot it's been recently.
Well, let's cool down with a music report from Jacqueline Holt.
Welcome back to another let's talk about pop music.
Made you look, I made you look.
To start us off, Meghan Trainor's song Made You Look, released January 13th, was trending on TikTok and has 321 million streams on Spotify. Next, Sam Smith released his single I'm Not Here to Make Friends on January 27th with over 41 million streams, after he released Unholy. For all of you old One Direction fans, Niall Horan is releasing an album called The Show on June 9th, and to hold you off until then, he dropped his single Heaven on February 17th. Next, Dolly Parton and Dionne Warwick released the single Peace Like a River on February 24th, and hopefully at some point this year, Beyoncé will release Renaissance Act 2. And finally, Lana Del Rey is releasing her new album, Did You Know There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard, on March 24th. If you're a fan of rock music, Pierce the Veil, not having released music since 2016, is making a comeback with their new album, The Jaws of Life. That released on February 10th. Fall Out Boy is also releasing new music, their new album, So Much for Stardust, on March 24th. And Metallica will be dropping a new album called 72 Seasons on April 24th. On February 17th, Polo G released his single, No Time Wasted, on February 3rd with 6 million streams. Ray released her new album, My 21st Century Blues, and Yeet released his new album, Afterlife, on February 24th. The #1 ranked country song of 2023 is Last Night by Morgan Wallen, who is releasing his album One Thing at a Time on March 3rd. And on March 24th, Luke Combs is dropping his album, Getting Old. Make sure to take a listen, and I hope you all enjoy the songs to come. For Wave TV, I'm Jacqueline Holt.
Keep a lookout for your favorite hits.
Come out and support our track team tomorrow as they take on their first meet of the season at West Ashley High School.
Main event starts at 9 in the morning, so be sure to go out and support our team.
That's all we have for this week, Somerville. Have a great weekend.